What is up, everyone? Phil here, and I'm finally getting a chance to sit down and talk about my reactions to the WWE FastLane pay-per-view for 2016. A lot happened during this pay-per-view that I actually felt like I really wanted to address, so let's get started. So first off, the beginning of the pay-per-view actually is on pre-show. It's the US title match between Kalisto and Alberto Del Rio, and I have to ask the question, why was this match on the pre-show? It's a title match that takes away any kind of meaning or momentum that Kalisto could have with that US belt. I don't understand why they decided to do this. Maybe they were just dying to get people to tune in early. I don't know. But anyway, the match was pretty good. It was supposed to be 2 out of 3 falls, and being that it was on pre-show, I had a feeling there would be some shenanigans, and of course there were. Del Rio ends up being more brutal in this match than he's been in quite a long time, and certainly more so than since he's returned to the WWE recently. At the beginning of the match, he immediately gets a DQ loss to Kalisto by hitting him with a steel chair. So immediately it's like, man, I get it. Del Rio's going to destroy him, and then he's going to get 2 quick pinfalls and win this match to get his US title back. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way for him. After DQing himself and giving the first win to Kalisto, he took Kalisto in the ring, beat the crap out of him some more, stomped on him, and got his victory. So now it's 1-1. And now the story of the match is literally, I'm just going to manhandle Kalisto and stomp on him repeatedly, which he did. He stomped on him in the ring. He did the stomp finisher outside of the ring, on the ring wall. He did it everywhere. I literally started counting, and I think I counted like 6 different various stomps during the course of this match. Then all of a sudden, near the end of the match, Kalisto reverses and gets a quick roll-up victory, and he wins. And it's hilarious because it's like, you're watching the match and you're like, wow, I mean, it was well done. But for this to be the end of the US title rivalry with Del Rio is kind of a letdown. I would have loved to have a full-fledged 2 out of 3 falls match rather than this kind of cop-out getting DQ'd and all of that. But it is what it is. For a pre-show match, it was quite good. I still have to say, why was this on the pre-show? I really don't get it. So the actual Fastlane pay-per-view opens up with a Divas match. It's like, holy crap. I mean, a Divas match is actually getting top billing, or at least first billing. They're curtain jerking. I couldn't believe it. A lot of the times these Divas matches don't get that kind of a good positioning on the card. It's Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch tagging against Team Bad, which is Naomi and Tamina. Now, I'll be honest here. Was this the best match I've ever seen from Divas? No. But it certainly was better than the worst match I've seen. A lot of interesting spots with Naomi doing most of the in-ring work. I'm not sure what's going on with Tamina anymore. She used to be pretty decent in the ring. And, you know, the past couple of years, it's obvious that she's gotten bigger. You know what I mean? She's gained weight. I don't know what's going on with that. She can't really move as well as she used to. She can't really do the stuff she used to do. So I don't know what's really happening and why they're kind of billing her as a viable wrestler when it seems like something happened. Maybe she got injured or something. I don't know. But anyway, Naomi does most of the work for Team Bad. You've got Becky Lynch in there for most of the match, getting the crap beaten out of her, although she makes a valiant effort. We all know she can perform because we saw her in that awesome program against Charlotte over a month. Leading up to the Royal Rumble. And now, when finally Sasha gets the hot tag, oh yeah, my God, here we go. And they're going back and forth. And then Sasha finally puts in the bank statement, while on the other side of the ring, Becky puts, I believe, Tamina into her arm break, or was it the last breaker? I forget what she calls it. Not the last kicker. It's like the arm breaker, whatever her finisher's name is. So it's a double finisher tap out victory for the face Divas, which is pretty cool. The only thing I'm really disappointed about in this match is that we don't get any kind of a lead-in. Like, at the beginning of the match, there was an interview where Sasha's like, I want to go to WrestleMania, and I want to be the main event of WrestleMania, basically challenge Charlotte, move on to bigger and better things. But we don't know right now how that's going to happen. But still a great match, a great way to start the pay-per-view. Again, not amazing, but still 2 thumbs up and highly entertaining. Immediately following that Divas opening match, we've got the Intercontinental title with Kevin Owens defending against Dolph Ziggler. Now, you may say that sounds like a broken record. That's because it is. I mean, these two have faced off probably 5 or more times in the past couple of months. In fact, every time it was on Raw, I would say to Leanna, my girlfriend, did we just see this last week? And now they're doing it on a pay-per-view, and I hate to say it, Dolph Ziggler, sorry Dolph, but your time has come and gone. I don't think anyone is honestly believing that Dolph Ziggler is going to win the title from Kevin Owens. Dolph has pretty much done the same kind of wrestling style for years at this point. There's no mixing it up with his character. I don't even know what his character is anymore. I don't know. It's not saying that the match was bad, because certainly it wasn't, although everyone seems to like to complain that Kevin Owens does way too many headlocks, which I guess you can agree that, or the rear chin lock, a lot of people complain about it. I'm just not looking forward to any more matches with Dolph Ziggler. So when this match started, I was kind of like, eh. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll, start paying attention in another minute. And I would, and it would be the same spots that they've already done. And I'd be like, oh my God, okay. And then I'd look back again, and it's the same spots they've already done. And it's the same match we've all seen. Why would I care about a pay-per-view match that you've seen for free on Raw 7 times in the past 2 months? The match was a throwaway. And ultimately, that's exactly what it ended up being. There were a bunch of super kicks in the match, and, JBL called it a super kick party, which is hilarious because that's allusions to some other wrestling federations, but I won't talk too much about that. And then finally it ends up where Ziggler looks like he's going to do another super kick for the finisher. There's a reversal, pop a powerbomb, a pretty uneventful match, and ultimately kind of a throwaway match. I think they wanted to give Owens something to do heading into WrestleMania. They didn't want him sitting on the bench, but there was no other reason to even have this match. A throwaway, ultimately boring match, and I was disappointed. There was also the Gods versus Titans match. Why on earth you would be calling the Wyatt family gods, I have no idea. So it's the Wyatt family against the Big Show, Kane, and Ryback. And you can imagine, just without even seeing the match, most people who've seen these guys in the ring can imagine what this match was. A couple of spots with big things, people going over the top rope, big clotheslines, big boots, slams, attempted flying knees by Ryback, which he botched, no shit. I mean, it's pretty much exactly what you would think would happen in the match. And ultimately, again, a match that didn't mean anything, a match that really didn't have much of a build behind it to begin with. I think they were just trying to give these guys something to do because they didn't have any kind of a long-time established plot line leading into WrestleMania yet. And the match was a throwaway. It wasn't anything great. It certainly wasn't a terribad or anything match, but it wasn't entertaining because there was no stakes, there was no reason to have the match, and it was a bunch of slow-moving, lumbering guys that were boring. It was really, honestly, after the first 3 matches, I tweeted and I said, man, 3 matches down to FastLane, and I'll be honest, every match is progressively putting me more to sleep. The first match was okay. The Intercontinental match was boring. This Gods vs. Titan match is really fucking boring. I certainly hope they can pull something out here that's going to invigorate the crowd and invigorate me, because right now they're not doing it for me, and I'm pretty disappointed. Okay, so up next was the Divas Championship. So, a championship match. This will really pick us up. Except that Brie Bella was in the match, and I'm sorry, I know a lot of people like Brie Bella. I have never been a fan of the Bella twins in the ring. You want to say something about their looks, you want to say something about maybe if they can act on Total Divas, which I wouldn't know, that's one thing. In the ring, these girls are not good. I'm sorry, these are fitness models. These are not professional wrestlers. They didn't come to the WWE to be professional wrestlers. They were fitness models that were semi-trained to wrestle, and they've never been good at it. And boy, did it ever show tonight in this match that was supposed to be the penultimate final match for Brie Bella, being that she's announcing her impending retirement coming later this year because Daniel Bryan, her husband, has now retired, and she desires to now go home and kind of be a nice wife to him and have a family with him and start a new life with him. This was kind of the most deflating possible match I could have imagined. Basically, the match went something like this. Brie tries a move, fails. Brie tries a move, fails. Brie tries this, doesn't look convincing. Brie botches, Brie botches, Brie botches. And not to say that Charlotte didn't botch a lot either, because she did do 1 or 2 big botches as well, but it just was not entertaining. You could tell during the match that Brie wanted to do so much, she had so much in mind, and every time she went for something that they had probably tried to script, it didn't look good or didn't go as well as they had envisioned it in their heads. And it's so disappointing. You see, Brie is actually wearing the furry shin guards that Daniel Bryan wore at WrestleMania 30 when he won the 2 matches that night, and he went on to become the WWE champion. And you're seeing this, you're like, this is the complete polar opposite of that performance at WrestleMania 30, and it's a shame. Now, can you directly blame Brie? No, you gotta blame the bookers because they put Brie in this position. If she's gonna have a final awesome rivalry and match, maybe do it so it's not some high stakes title match. Do it so maybe it's a fun match or something instead of basically pushing her into the title picture for no fucking reason whatsoever, pushing Sasha and Becky out of the limelight for one pay-per-view so that she could get her final big match. It's a complete waste of time. And ultimately the ending was so botched and so terrible looking, the announcers had to try to explain it to the viewing audience because just watching it you couldn't understand. So here's what happened. Brie puts Charlotte into the yes lock. So the crowd's shouting, yes, yes, yes. But the match, the whole match they had sold that her leg basically was injured. So then she removes the yes lock because I guess it's too difficult for her to hold that with her leg or something. I don't know. She then puts Charlotte into a half Boston Crab and pulls her towards the middle of the ring. There's no way out of this hold. Like, literally, Charlotte could not viably escape this hold without some kind of, like, godly intervention. She's wrenching the leg for a good 30 seconds. Brie Bella is wrenching the leg, and you're like, are they actually going to give her the title here? Because Charlotte has to tap out. What's going to happen? And then all of a sudden, Brie releases the hold, steps up. Charlotte gets up, turns around, grabs her, plants her on her back, puts her into a figure 4, bridges it to the figure 8, and the match is over. Huh? Like, what just happened? And you're literally watching the match like, what the hell? She got up. She let her out of the hold. There's no viable explanation for any of this stuff that just happened. Oh, by the way, Charlotte was just in a submission hold that would have destroyed her legs 5 seconds ago. How did she instantly snap her into the figure 8 with no issues? There's no selling. There's no explanation. After the match ends, Charlotte's going up the rip, dancing up fine. Oh, no selling that you just destroyed me in 2 submission holds. The match ending made zero fucking sense. So now the announcers realize probably that to the viewing audience that made no sense. Now they have the script in front of them, so they start reading. Brie had hurt her leg during the match. Yeah, that sounds right. And she couldn't hold that half Boston Crab because her leg gave out. Even though during a half Boston Crab your legs are at a relaxed position. I don't get it. It was just the worst, most poorly written ending I think I've ever seen in a Divas match in quite some time besides the botch finishes. And for this, again, to be the big last hurrah for Brie Bella, probably the last time she'll be to the big show and be able to get a shot for the Divas title. What a waste. And what a waste of everyone's time. No one liked the match. Everyone's left disappointed with a bad taste in their mouth. So, let's see. You had 2 deflating matches followed by a horrible botch fest. What could possibly be worse than this? Well, there actually was worse than that. But it wasn't the next match, thank God. The next match was AJ Styles and Chris Jericho ending their 3-match feud, right? AJ had beaten Chris Jericho on his debut match on Raw. Jericho had won the rubber match back on SmackDown. And now we have the final match here. What's going to happen in the final of this set of 3? Great match. I think everyone expected this to be a great match. Let's face it, to see 2 high flyers, 2 guys who are technicians in the ring go at it. The only thing that I have to say, you can obviously tell that AJ is in a little bit better conditioning than Chris Jericho, and the fact that he's doing a little bit more and Jericho is a little bit more limited now than he used to be. Not to say that that's anything negative. I mean, Jericho himself, for his age, is doing amazingly well in the ring and still one of my favorite performers, by the way. Great match. And the only other thing that I really have to mention about it, unfortunately, AJ almost took a spill or 2 where it looked like if they had timing off a tiny bit in this match, AJ could have killed himself. But these 2 did well. They timed everything well. The match was great. The finish, awesome, where AJ actually hits the Styles Clash and then Jericho kicks out of it. So now it's teased, oh no, AJ can't win the match because Jericho got out of his finisher. Eventually, there's a couple roll-ups and reversals. Finally, AJ gets him into the calf crusher, which is just another name for his calf slicer finisher, which that's what they used to call it in the indies. But I guess slicer isn't PG enough for WWE. We have to call it calf crusher now. So he puts him into this submission, and Jericho sells it so well, so great. Like, basically, he stays in this submission for a good 20 seconds, and you're like, he's gonna escape. There's no way he's gonna be in this hold for that long and not escape. And then all of a sudden, you start to, like, you can see, like, visibly in his face is acting. He's like, oh, and then he taps out. Jericho still does it the best, man. I swear, when he does submission moves and submission matches and stuff, Jericho's the master. And he definitely showed it here. He put AJ over. AJ deserves to be over in the WWE, so good to see him win this set. They did the right thing here. 2 guys orchestrated an amazing match. So if anything on the FastLane pay-per-view, there was one great match. That was it. So at least after, being deflated for 3 straight matches, you get a little bit of a pickup with this one. But it wasn't going to last. So they choose to follow up that amazing match with the Cutting Edge Peep Show segment starring Edge and Christian. Now, why is this on the pay-per-view? It's very simple. There's a new show on the WWE Network premiering after Fastlane with Edge and Christian on it. It's supposed to be like a comedy-style skit show, and this is their advertisement for it. So they come out, they're joking around, they invite the New Day out, the New Day come out, they're doing their shtick, and I'll be honest here, I like the New Day, I like Edge and Christian. They didn't work together. They just didn't. The things that they were saying, like Edge calls the New Day the most vanilla black guys he's ever seen. And it's just like, it's racial humor, but it's not really funny. You know what I mean? And then, the New Day go back at them. And then you got Christian making jokes about Rusev's accent, and he sounds terrible. Just, I don't know, this segment just didn't work for whatever reason. I think normally if you had left these guys alone, maybe it would have worked, but it just did not work. At one point during the segment, now the freaking League of Nations come out. No one likes the League of Nations, so how do you bring down a segment that's already failing? Bring out the League of Nations, and they come out, and they're not funny, and nothing about this segment is funny whatsoever. It's just a really terrible segment that goes on way too long, probably over 10 minutes, I would think, with the amount of stuff that happened during the segment. How do they finish the segment? Do you think that there's maybe going to be a payoff? Is there any kind of something that's going to leave it with a final joke, something that'll leave it lingering in your mind and say, well, the segment sucked, but here's a final funny joke. Go watch the Edge and Christian show. They end the segment with Kofi Kingston and Big E shaking their asses on the ramp while Edge throws money, basically makes it rain on their asses as if they're male strippers. That's how you sell a show on WWE Network, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be honest with everyone here. After I saw this segment, I literally, any desire in my body to check out the Edge and Christian show after the pay-per-view vanished immediately. I was so fucking turned off by this segment that the segment did the opposite. I was interested in watching the Edge and Christian show, and then after seeing this segment, I said, I don't want to see the Edge and Christian show now. I am going to check it out eventually. I'll probably later this week when there's a new episode of NXT going on, I'll watch it maybe that night. But I had enough. After this, I was like, that's enough of that shit for tonight. Please give me another match to take me out of this dead end that this whole segment was. Oh boy, wait till you hear what was next. So what do you do to follow up one of the worst, most downing segments I've seen on WWE TV in recent memory? Let's have an unannounced match of a bunch of people no one wants to see and make it a completely worthless segment. So, who would start this? The Social Outcasts all come out, and let's face it, this stable had a chance to work. It really did. I liked it when they first came out and they were supposed to be the guys that really didn't work and were over in any kind of a program that they had done. I take that back. Curtis Axel was over when he was making fun of Hulk Hogan or pretending to be Hulk Hogan, and then Hulk Hogan got all that racial tension last year with what came out with him with the scandal, and so they had to drop that storyline, and he's been dead in the water since then. So they bring these guys out. You don't even know what they're coming out for. Is there a match? Like, is this another stupid comedy segment? Who knows? Then RTruth comes out, and you're like, oh, no. Now, not to say that I don't like RTruth as a performer, but they've had him in the dumbest comedy segments possible recently, so I knew some stupid shit was going to go down. RTruth versus Curtis Axel in a singles match. During the match, the Social Outcasts are constantly distracting RTruth, causing him to get hit and snuck attacked by Curtis Axel. So Goldust comes out. Oh, yes, Goldust, whose new plot line is he's trying to become a tag team partner of RTruth, comes out and tries to help. Now, how this is supposed to help, I have no idea. Like, nothing here makes sense. Wait till you hear this. Curtis Axel is wrestling RTruth. For some reason, there's an altercation at some point between Goldust and, Adam Rose. All right? He grabs Adam Rose and for some reason throws him in the ring. Why would you do that during a legitimate match going on in the ring? I have no idea. Adam Rose decides to become a human log, rolls through the entirety of the ring on his side from one side to the other. As he's doing this, RTruth sees him and leaps above to dodge. As he's dodging, Curtis Axel grabs him from behind, rolls him up in a schoolboy, gets the pin. And it's just the dumbest thing. Now, I was hoping that maybe, because this is the first real time here we saw interaction between RTruth and Goldust in a ring. We've seen all these backstage vignettes, but I'm like, maybe they'll progress their storyline, right? Maybe there'll be something here, some kind of a payoff. Nothing. The whole segment is the same shit we've seen. Goldust trying to become tag team partners with RTruth. He gets misrepresented or misunderstood or ends up somehow being a negative to RTruth, and RTruth gets pissed at him, and that's how the whole segment ends. So literally, this 10 to 15 minute segment not only was a throwaway match, it was a complete time killer that didn't even advance a plot line. It was like, they could have literally said, all right, everyone, go fucking, go make a snack or go clean your fucking car or something and come back in 15 minutes. I could have gone and taken a 15-minute shit that was more productive than watching this fucking segment on the show. A total waste of everyone's time. So now you've had the dud of the Edge and Christian segment and the dud of this segment back to back. The entire crowd is now completely dead. The viewers at home are dead. Everyone's like, what the fuck, man? Can we please just have like a big culmination of the night? They better do something really great to finish this pay-per-view, because at this point, everyone's fucking disappointed with all the shit they've seen. Just Give us something, please. So now it's the main event. It's the triple threat title match between Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar to become the #1 contender for the WWE title and to go on to face Triple H in the main event of WrestleMania. Now, let's face it. If you're a longtime viewer of WWE, you probably knew what was going to happen in this match. You know that WWE has been shoving Roman Reigns down our fucking throats for over 2 years now as the new John Cena, the new Stone Cold, the new Golden Boy, who will be pushed into fucking oblivion even if the fans don't want it. The WWE doesn't care about you. All they care about is their own agenda. So they're going to shove Roman Reigns right up your fucking gullet. And boy, did they deliver. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this match was everything you could possibly expect in a triple threat match that was insanely predictable, no surprises, and a complete waste of everyone's time. So, first of all, the match starts out with basically Brock Lesnar super duper suplex citying the fuck out of everyone. Both Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose are completely destroyed within a matter of minutes. Of course, with all this activity, Brock Lesnar is instantly gassed because we all know he has no stamina. So he's completely covered in sweat. His body has like swollen. He's pink as shit, and everyone was making fun of him on the social media saying he was like a tomato or something or a lobster. So he looks really bad. After just a few minutes, he's completely swollen and gassed. So what do they got to do? Well, they got to take Lesnar out of the equation. For the storyline, it's because they think if they take Lesnar out of the equation, it could just be the two of them. The truth of the matter is, Lesnar's tired as fuck and can't continue. So we've got to find a way to get him out of the match. So they powerbomb him through an announce table. Then Dean and Roman go into the ring, and they go back and forth. And let's face it, these two guys have worked for a while now. They know each other's styles. They're good chemistry with each other in the ring. They've wrestled for titles before, right? So here they go, and they do a really good program, and it almost looks like Dean or Roman might eventually get a pin. All of a sudden, Brock Lesnar is stirring on the outside of the ring. They say, well, we can't finish our match together if he's awake. So they go out there, they beat him up again, they put him through the other announce table, and now they cover him with all kinds of like furniture, the tops of the tables and everything, so he's buried. So they think, oh, he's out of the match. Of course we know he won't be out of the match, but that's what they want you to believe because they think you're stupid. So they go back into the ring. Now we've got a really good series again with these two, where you've got Dean really pulling off some cool reversals, and even Roman, you know, when he has a good match with someone who has great chemistry with him, he can perform. And I actually think in this match, I have to admit, I think he did a really good job. And ultimately, it looks like they may actually let Dean win this thing. Dean actually hits the dirty deeds after all these fake finishes, and you're like, holy shit, we're gonna have a #1 contender no one thought of. Maybe this is the big grandiose payout for waiting through all the shit tonight and finally getting to this main event. 1, 2, Roman kicks out, and it's like, that's it. As soon as Dean Ambrose hit the dirty deeds and Roman kicked out, you knew that was it. Dean's chances are now out the fucking window. It's 100% confirmed by WWE management. They don't think he's the guy. He'll always be the guy just under the guy, and the guy that they'll use to make the other guy look better, but he's never going to be the guy. And it's fucking pathetic because Dean Ambrose does deserve to actually get some kind of big push and or recognition in the WWE, and I think he should be the champion someday. That's just my personal opinion. But that's it. After you kick out of his finisher, you know it's over, right? That's it. So what happens? Well, they continue to wrestle. All of a sudden, Brock Lesnar comes into the ring behind them. So Roman Reigns actually has Dean Ambrose up for a Samoan drop. Lesnar comes up behind them, zoop, and he super duper suplexes them. So all three men go for a suplex together. It looks really awesome. It's a great spot, and obviously it was planned for the entire match. And so for the finish of the match, as if you didn't know this would happen, you've got Roman and Lesnar going back and forth in the ring, almost kind of teasing what they did at WrestleMania last year in the main event. Dean Ambrose finally says, wait a minute, it's a triple threat match. I have a brain. I'm going to do what 99% of people don't do in a triple threat match. I'm going to go get a weapon, which is perfectly legal in this match. He gets a steel chair. He hits Lesnar with it, because Lesnar actually currently had Roman Reigns in a Kimura lock, okay? Hits Lesnar with it, hits Reigns with it, hits Lesnar with it, hits Reigns with it, hits Lesnar with it. Lesnar rolls out of the ring. Dean turns around. Oh, look, Roman has miraculously shaken off those multiple chair shots, has perfectly fine stamina and health, spears him 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. So you're telling me that you hit Brock Lesnar with a chair the same amount of times that you hit Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar was so destroyed he had to roll out of the ring to recover, but Roman Reigns is Superman and pops up magically and fucking spears Dean Ambrose. The ending makes zero fucking sense. Again, the Divas title match ending makes no sense. This title match ending makes no sense. It's almost like WWE doesn't give a fuck anymore. Well, we'll just give you the shit however we wrote it. If you don't like it, you could go fucking watch some other little indie shit because we don't care about them because they're not our competition anymore. We'll just keep shoveling that shit right down your fucking throat for $9.99 a month, right? I couldn't believe how poor the ending was to the match. Now, the thing was, overall, I thought the match was all right, but when you confirm what everyone's greatest fears are, when Roman Reigns comes out every night and all you hear are resounding fucking boos, all right? You've got to think there's something wrong. Now, Roman Reigns isn't John Cena. John Cena gets booed because he was the goody two-shoes champion for too fucking long, and people are tired of John Cena's character. They don't want to see it. They want to see something different. So when John Cena gets the massive push, everyone boos him out of the fucking building. But Roman Reigns hasn't even really been to the top yet. Yeah, he was the champion for what? A couple weeks before he dropped the belt again? So it just doesn't make any sense why WWE would think that this guy is ever going to be over with anyone. They never legitimately let Reigns get over. Every time that he's supposed to have overcome an obstacle, it's perfectly scripted and predictable, and there's really no surprise or any feeling of like he accomplished anything. And more it feels like, well, they herpy-derped the script again. It's exactly how you expected. And as a viewer of wrestling, unless you are just so easily led like a sheep, there's no way you would buy that what's happening is legitimate. He got hit with the same steel chair as Brock Lesnar, yet he magically recovers a la John Cena and wins the match. Fuck you, WWE. No. Give me anything more convincible than that, right? Oh, he steals the chair. He goes into a chair war with Dean and gets the final hit or something. No, not this crap ending. Like, I mean, who couldn't write a better ending than this? And that's what gets me about this shit. Now here's the thing. We're leading into WrestleMania. Our main event of WrestleMania is going to be Roman Reigns versus Triple H, which people predicted in December. If people can predict your main event for WrestleMania over 3 months before the fucking event, you've got a major fucking problem, WWE. And this is so fucking predictable. Like, we all knew Triple H was coming back at the Rumble. We all figured he was probably going to eliminate Roman or end up winning, and that there would be a match between these two. Now, if it was a match at WrestleMania that wasn't for the WWE title, maybe I would care more. But I don't care. I care as little about Reigns versus Triple H as I cared about fucking John Cena and The Rock twice. You want to know why I don't care about this match? Because I knew it was going to fucking happen forever. WWE for 2 years has shoved down our throats that Roman Reigns is the main eventer. He's the big shit. He's the new top guy in the company. Regardless of the fact of the fans constantly booing him and saying, no, 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 we don't want him. WWE management do whatever the fuck they want. They're like megalo fucking maniacs. Imagine if you went to McDonald's, they said, from now on, we're just going to put shit on your burger. And you said, but I don't want shit on my burger. I like delicious condiments and cheese. And they say, fuck you, this is McDonald's, we're the big dog, shit on your burger it is. And people just kept going back and eating shit sandwiches. That's pretty much what WWE is doing when they shove Roman Reigns down your fucking throat all the time. They don't care about customer feedback. They want to do whatever the fuck they do because they think they're the big dogs and they're in charge. It's a shame. They're basically a monopoly. And they get to pull this shit all the fucking time. And you see guys like Dean Ambrose get swept under the fucking rug because of the giant egos of the people in upper management at WWE. I didn't care about The Rock and John Cena because those plot lines were insanely predictable. For a year, you knew it was going to be Rock and Cena. And then, even though they said it was once in a lifetime, you knew that it was going to be a rematch at the next WrestleMania. You knew all this if you just had your eyes and ears open and your thumb wasn't up your butt. So, it was the same thing here with Roman. We all knew Roman was going to eventually be the champion and be headlining WrestleMania. It was 2 years in a row now that we have to fucking put up with this shit, right? I don't know. That's why I was very disappointed with FastLane. I don't think it was the net result of overall it being a bad show when you look at the card. Kalisto and Del Rio were good. They were a great pre-show match, absolutely. The Divas tag match when the show opened was good, okay? I thought that the AJ and Chris Jericho match was actually pretty good, and quite honestly, the main event, with the exception of the super predictable fucking finish, I thought was actually good as well. But it's all the crap that WWE shoves in between that ruins it, and the fucking predictable booking at the end. Who would watch this pay-per-view and say, wow, I'm super pumped for WrestleMania? I can't think of a single person. Like, why would you? What on this pay-per-view would have convinced you that WrestleMania is going to be a great card after what you just saw? And the point of the past 3 months of building up, you're supposed to be building to WrestleMania. Yet right now, we don't know what the Wyatt family's doing. We don't know what any of the other side of that match are doing. We don't know what's going to happen to the Bellas. We don't know what's going to happen with, Well, I guess we're going to probably figure out Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar very shortly. I'm predicting they're actually going to have a match to each other at WrestleMania. It'll be those two facing off. Kevin Owens, we don't know what his fate is, or Dolph Ziggler for that matter. You know what I mean? There's so many unanswered questions at the end of this pay-per-view. The only thing you know for sure for WrestleMania is that there's going to be a shitty main event for the title that no one cares about and everyone will fucking boo. So why do you want to see it? I mean, it's not rocket science to figure out why people are upset about WWE FastLane. Alright, so I went on a ranting tangent, but hopefully you now get my feelings about this pay-per-view. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Leave your comments in the description of the video. Let me know what you think. And hopefully, with the next few weeks of build-up to WrestleMania on Raw and SmackDown and all of that, we'll actually get a lot better idea, and hopefully it'll be a good card, because right now, in my opinion, it ain't looking good. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time for more of my reactions.